Hey folks, it's Johnny Flynn. I appreciate all the newcomers to my page. We're really taking off now. So I found this old Trump shirt. They were hard to come by. In Phoenix, they're everywhere, but in Connecticut, this might be the only one. So I want to add something. I'm being called a right winger, which is true because I was a hockey player. I played right wing. In my school that was recently closed, St. Patrick's in Bedford, New York, we had our own hockey team. We had 9 boys in my class. Oh, about 6 of us were on the same hockey team for years. And 2 of the players were quite fantastic. Shout out to Ricky and to John. You know who you are. Sensational hockey players. I was probably the worst one. I wore figure skates for the first year, but I was most improved in the first year and most improved from that day forward. I was a latecomer. I lived in New York till 2nd grade. They played in preschool, in kindergarten, in 1st grade together. When I came to St. Patrick's, which was closed last year, and I might add my Trinity Catholic, Stanford Catholic High School was recently closed. The money for a student should follow the student to the private school. Why? Because they're cheaper. A, they're better. For example, my 5th grade teacher, Sister Xavier, fantastic nun. Tough as nails. She loved us so much. She became our 8th grade teacher so she could teach us math, so we could do it in our head. So, needless to say, I believe everyone in my 8th grade class was in the 98th percentile in math. Every student. We had like 20 girls and 9 boys. I think we had 29 people in my class. I could be wrong. We're as tight as grammar school kids can be. We came from large Catholic families. And, I'm a right-wing Catholic who doesn't believe in late-term abortion. So come to the event this weekend, Saturday, in Plainville, Connecticut, where Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to speak. No, she's not anti-Semitic. That's BS. Total BS. If you listen to the false narrative, it's not up to me. It's not up to you. We're all getting together, allowing people to speak. Lori's going to speak. A libertarian. A different party. Wow. So here we go. I want to highlight something else today, which is very important. This is the Pennsylvania hack. I went to Villanova in Philadelphia, outside Philadelphia. My son went to Villanova. My dad went to Villanova. We're 3rd generation John J. Flynn Villanova graduates, a Catholic Augustinian college with ethics. But if you look at the data, let me take myself off the screen, you will see that Trump won 3.6 million votes to 3.1. They changed 494,000 votes. They reported this top number, which is the big lie, the Pennsylvania big lie. They said Trump had 3.3 million and that Biden had 3.4 million. Well, there wasn't a single Biden sign in all of the state of Pennsylvania. But there's some interesting things to look at on this list about the hack. People say, oh, it's conspiracy theory. Really? Look at the sources of these hacks. Look at this one. Oh my. 11/3 at 2:30 in the afternoon. Connecticut hacked a Pennsylvania Cameron County Secretary of the Commissioners and changed votes. Not a lot. But as you can see, it's a coordinated effort to change votes in every county. And if you look at Chester County, 26,000 votes. Here's some of the big ones. Montgomery County, that's where Villanova is. 42,000 votes changed to Biden from Trump. That's where Villanova is. And if you look here, Philadelphia County, 61,958 votes flipped. That's more than Nassau County or Queens County in New York. So Philadelphia is one of the most egregious vote-flipping counties in America. Hard to believe. Well, that's Pennsylvania in a nutshell. These votes add up to this number, 494, 429. And it's hard to say, looking at the list, this is a swing state, folks. They got hacked by England. They got hacked by Hong Kong, Japan, Thailand, Sweden. Look at this York County, okay, 19,000 votes. Hacked by Mazovia, Poland. Well, if each town was hacked at the registrar of voter, each county, who had the server information, who had the IP address, who had the source information, who had the longitude and latitude of the registrar's office. Allegheny County, voter registration. Bedford County Director of Elections. Beaver County Director of Elections. Folks, that's just part of the story. If you wouldn't mind, I'm going to play this video, and you should listen. This is from the Republican Party of Arizona.
The analysis shows that 40 precincts had over 97% of ballots returned. For perspective, the national mail-in ballot return rate was 71%. The return rate for the entire state of Arizona was 65%. In Pima County as a whole, it was...
She's talking about Pima County, which has an aberration, and you're about to hear it. She's saying that 96% of the absentee ballots were returned, filled out, okay? 96%. That didn't occur anywhere else in the nation, but listen to her next remarks.
It was 86%. One of the Pima County precincts even had 99.5% return rate, and another had, get this, 100.6% returned. This does not...
106% of the absentee ballots in one of the precincts in Pima County, Arizona, had more than the number of ballots that were mailed out. So therefore, they took them to a copier with no watermark. They changed the voter data information. They used the same addresses, or they used a different address. They made up the names. But truthfully, were they non-citizens voting? Were they non-citizens? These are felonies, folks. And look at what happened in Pima County, Arizona. Determine what happened in Philadelphia, PA. Home of Villanova. Home of an ex-Connecticut governor who shall remain nameless. So, fortifying our weekend discussion about voter fraud for the Marjorie Taylor Greene event, please share this video for my protection, and comment, post, and attend the event. We have sold only 33 tickets to the dinner. There are 150 seats available. You can meet Marjorie Taylor Greene. The reason why I'm supporting her is because she has cojones and no other reason. I don't agree with any one candidate's philosophy about anything in the entire country. I am my own person, and I don't care what party you're in. If you have the facts and you demonstrate the facts and your facts are true, then I am with you. It's all about due process with me. And the people who are suffering from due process problems like Stephen Barrier, I am going to discuss briefly what happened with Stephen Barrier at this event, because it's important that you understand that bribes by commissioners of the court to our chief state's attorney are illegal. And that's what I can demonstrate. And we are gaining support. We thank you. Unfortunately, 2 of our speakers backed out for a good reason. They don't want to be tainted. They have their own concerns. And I challenge anyone who wants to come to a free event to come. And if you heckle, so will I. There you go. I'm going to shine a light, and it's 10,000 candle power. When you hear the facts, which are undisputed, these facts are undisputed in this Mike Lindell video. These facts are undisputed at the Maricopa County, Arizona event. These facts of the chairwoman
happen. Apart from the absurdity of having over 100% of ballots returned, we just do not see 99 or 100% or over 100% in countries with real elections. As I said before, Pima is the second most populous county here in Arizona. It usually accounts for about 20% of the total statewide vote, and it is, of course, a Democrat stronghold. There's a petition movement to have a full forensic audit of the Pima County 2020 election, similar to what was done in Maricopa County. We should join it, and we should urge the Attorney General to get it done. I've been asking for full audits of all 15 of it.
So we met the district attorney in Arizona. He is running for U.S. Senate in Arizona. He needs your help because he's a class act, folks. And if you want his contact information, if you want to send him a check, I believe he's on WinRed, like I am. Please go to WinRed. I need $10 from every Connecticut resident to prevail. $10 from every Connecticut resident to prevail. And guess what? The fact that I mailed thousands of letters to Republicans in Connecticut, even to the top GOP people, not a single response. Not a single response. What does that mean? It means they're so screwed up that they don't know which way to turn. They don't realize the importance of this Senate seat. And if we can capture it, and we can, when you see the evidence on Richard Blumenthal, we will prevail. Because the Democrats will learn that they're backing the wrong horse. If they're about due process and want their court date equal representation, they want subpoenas for their own exculpatory evidence when they're innocent. We've demonstrated in the past that people are being framed in the United States like General Flynn. Do you want to be the next one? Do you want to be tased in the head on your front lawn, captured by the doorbell ring, as in the Stephen Barrier murder? Because the state's attorneys maintaining no tasers were used. We have a video of the tasers being used. They're yelling, taser, taser, taser. I got him in the back. A taser is a firearm. It stands for Thomas A. Swift Electric Rifle. It is a firearm. So with all this banter about gun rights in Connecticut, the Democrats intend to harass and heckle public speakers this weekend at Marjorie Taylor Greene, when in fact, the attorney who paid the bribe is scheduled to speak at the Marjorie Taylor Greene event. Trish Lindsay is scheduled to speak at the Marjorie Taylor Greene event. She decided which victims would be paid and which victims would not be paid. There is evidence of falsified signatures in Trish Lindsay's possession. Now, will she speak or will she not? We shall see. I intend to speak last or close to last. So, people, come, bring your video camera and record. Hit record, share it, take your best moments, edit it, keep it short and sweet, not 16 minutes and 47 seconds. That'll never work. And have a great day. There is no comparison between Biden and Trump. No comparison between Biden and Trump. In the choice between voting for Biden or Trump, we now have 88% price increase in steel. Biden increased the tax on Canadian cedar lumber products from 9% to 18%. Folks, that killed the cedar industry. Therefore, you've got to build with pine, which rots. What if you have a house on the water in Connecticut? You're going to have to build a house with pine that will last 8 years as opposed to 30 years. And the price of cedar has doubled. So, what is going on with the supply chain problem? It's a lie. It's a big lie by Hearst and the other media outlets. Now, Patch is caught up. Well, I hope they remedy the situation, because denying my right, my First Amendment right, when I control all the cards, is a big mistake. First of all, I'm the largest pro se litigator in the state, and behind me right here is my next court date, Flynn versus Firetree. See that picture? I don't know if you can see that. This picture right here is the crack pipes that I found next to Firetree, a residential community where Bob Duff put closed a maximum security prison in Connecticut and opened a neighborhood prison release on Quintard Avenue. They built a psych ward. They closed the maximum security prison. They intend to put psych patients in Firetree, in a residential community. Just so you know, 4 years ago, the same property held a halfway house. And one of the people there, unfortunately, hung himself on the front balcony for the children to see and watch going to the school bus for 2 days. They left the body hanging with a noose. He killed himself at this location, 17 Quintard. And this is the admission I'm required to answer for the court, while the chief of police of Norwalk was on the Board of Firetree cashing stolen checks for the judge, Judge Adams, partner at Kelly Dry and Warren. Kelly Dry and Warren a Stanford law firm, cashed stolen checks, and 28 cashed mortgage checks are involved in this Firetree debacle. So, what's happening in Connecticut? Mortgage checks are being cashed by attorneys, commissioners of the court, protected by the Detective Bureau of Norwalk, while the mayor is saying, let Mr. Flynn sit in a long line of financial crime victims that will never be investigated. Okay, I'm at 1,239 cash stolen checks. The first check was $250,000. We're at 47 million. So I say to myself, really? Norwalk is a criminal enterprise. How do you back the blue, folks? How do you back the blue? Well, in other towns where they're honest, of course you back the blue. Of course you back the blue. Why? Because they protect and serve. They took an oath. However, in a sanctuary state, how do you back the blue? They don't recognize federal law. Therefore, all your civil rights, due process, liberty, life, pursuit of happiness, everything in the Constitution, the federal Constitution, is voided by the local police. Oh no, that's a local police matter, Mr. Flynn. The FBI won't hear it. Oh, the state police won't hear it. And the local police are complicit in it. Detective Maloney of Norwalk Police said he would have an absolute field day against Mark Gregory, an attorney for Bank America who financed slavery, who's Jim Himes' biggest donor. I tell you now, Jim Himes is complicit in the cabal, and so are many of these other Connecticut congressmen. Why would they support H.R. 1, ballot harvesting, same-day registration, no voter ID, and 6-to-1 federal matching of a campaign contribution? It's so they can rob you, folks. Rob you, become millionaires. DeLauro has $38 million in the bank. Congressman DeLauro has $38 million in the bank. And connections to the Housing Authority. The Housing Authority has properties in Connecticut where, for example, Vesta is the owner of Vesta Corporation is maintaining that he bought politicians and judges in Connecticut. So that's his word. And we know what he did. He used confidential informants with police approval to plant drugs in disabled veterans' houses in Norwalk and evicted them. That guy, Ezra Priest, died 6 days after his COVID shot, but I have his testimony. And we have evidence, folks. We have evidence. So if you need help or helping someone today, this is an interesting complaint we got this morning. Are you ready? MLS for realtors. The laws are changing. They're requiring registration and all private deals to be filed with the state so they can see what you made and kick you off MLS if you don't comply. Therefore, the state of Connecticut wants control of the properties and zoning. They're going after zoning and they're going after property ownership. It's part of the socialist propaganda policy. It's part of Bob Duff's policy. They're going to restrict MLS, use it as a monopoly to prevent and block people from listing homes unless they are approved and unless they toe the line on the socialist program. So folks, we need to do a class action lawsuit for MLS realtors so they can operate in a free society not controlled by Governor Lamont. Have a great day. I'm at 24 minutes. Oh my. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.